I first discovered I have sickle cell disease. I don't remember the year, but what I can remember is I was around 6 to 7 years. Yeah, that is it, around 6 to 7 years. How did that make me feel? I don't think I felt anything that at that particular moment. No, I felt it was okay. I didn't feel anything because literally I didn't understand what sickle cell disease was. So I didn't feel anything about it. It was up to mom or dad. Okay, it was up to my parents because I was young. It has attracted most especially the discrimination part, not really a special treatment. Okay, special treatment with my family because at least for them they know what sickle cell is. But then it has attributed too much of discrimination, especially when I grew older. I get a lot of discrimination, stigma, especially from people who are ignorant about the disease. Of course, most of the time you feel bad. Most of the time you feel bad, you feel depressed, like you want to question God, why me, why this is happening to me? But then at the end of the day, you will not keep questioning yourself or you will not keep questioning God. You have to pick up yourself and move on. How do I deal with the discrimination? Firstly, I don't normally discuss my health issues with anyone. To be honest, it has always been my family and a close few relatives. So that has helped me to eliminate a lot of discrimination. However, when I started working, it still came up with the discrimination part, especially a few people who suspect, not even knowing, who suspect that I have sickle cell, and they are ignorant about the disease. However, that doesn't stop me at any point. Of course, I'll keep on going. So most of the time, I always ignore, especially the negative vibe, I always ignore. The worst episode. Wow, I've had many. So picking that one, I guess the one when I was doing my A-level papers. Yeah. Because at that particular moment, the crisis came in a night to my papers. And I was not willing to let Aya go just like that. It was a hard crisis in my back. It was too much, but it was a crisis which came in when I had to do my papers. And I had to do them. So I guess that was the worst one. And I had to pull strings with my mom, with my dad. They were all making a decision that I repeat the full year. However, I managed to do the papers and I missed out on the A's, but I got the B's. At least, yeah. I don't entertain stress, be it from work, be it from anyone, be it from what, because I knew the last crisis came because of stress. So by all means, I have to avoid stress. Number 2, I take in a lot of fluids. Number 3, I take care of myself as myself. Like, I don't wait for any other person to take care of me or to direct me to do this and this, because I'm old enough now. I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. Actually, when I grew older, before the pain comes in, most of the times I feel that it is about to come. So, at least that helps me to prepare myself. If possible, I take the necessary medication, so I prevent it so it doesn't have to come. So that has really helped me not to have so major crises. And in cold weather, of course, I know what to do. So I'm good to go. Why would I want to go to the hospital? After all, at the end of the day, doctors or nurses will say, those are just jokers. They don't really feel the pain, they are pretenders. But at least at home, everybody knows about what I go through. At least they will take good care of me. Unless if the worst comes to the worst. So that's when I could prefer to be taken to the hospital, but I would prefer home care. Those who know it's my family, and they have really been supportive. I'm not complaining, because everybody is taking his or her time to learn about sickle cell, do research. Even our last born at least knows it's 1 or 2 things about sickle cell. So that is enough for me. They have really been supportive, not only about caring about me, but still making research, knowing this, that. Actually, me being a sickler, it made one of my siblings to join the medical line as a career. as to take it as her own profession. So at least I have a dog behind me now. That is great. For a normal day, it's always waking up, going to work, back home. I do a bit of reading and writing, and I love to play with kids. I love to cook. I love to try out recipes with cooking and baking. Actually, I love more of baking. So that is it. Then when I'm sick, I will always be indoors. Over my phone, I guess. Over my phone. And watch. I love to watch movies as well. I would watch the entire episodes of all movies I would wish to watch. But because most of the time when you're in pain, you don't even want to watch the movies. So when I'm sick, it's always my bed and my phone. That's all I can say. On a normal day, I wake up, go to work. Then after work, I normally leave work a bit earlier because of my situation. I live around 3, 4. So I use the rest of the time to play with my sister's kids, do the cooking, try out the baking, because my sister is a baker, so I always help her here and there. That is it. And do a bit of reading and writing. I love writing more. The things I do to avoid crisis: one, firstly, you have to get to know your body, especially when you grow up. You have to listen to your body. The body communicates that soon or later the crisis is about to come. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this, but I'm experiencing this. So when I feel the triggers, I normally take the necessary medication. If it's about stress, I try to avoid stress by all means. If it's about the cold weather, still, because the crisis can come because of cold weather, I'm always up with my sweater or what, so that the crisis doesn't come in. That helps me to prevent, and a lot of fields for myself, of course, each and every day. The day-to-day challenges as sicklers are so many. There are really so many. Most of the time you can wake up like, will I make it to the next day? That is one. That fear always lags us behind. Will I make it to the following day? Then you'll be there like, will I even manage to finish this? That is also affecting us. Could be having a project or proposal you want to work upon, but then will I be able to finish this before the crisis comes in? That. Then most of the time it's like people around us, they discourage us. You will not be able to do this, you will not be able to do that. And still that keeps us behind. Like you get depressed and like, what if I didn't have sickle cells? At least I could have done this. You get depressed, anxiety. That is a lot. And especially when you grow up, maybe to fear people, but to me, the crises have reduced, but the aftermath of the crisis are more of even the crisis now. That is all I can say. Some of the things I've achieved, first is I'm here today. I'm 26, right? So very many people said I will not make it to 18, others are 24, others are 22, but I'm here. So that's already a one win. So another thing is, sickle cell comes with a lot of myths, especially people who don't know. So most of the people encourage my dad not to educate me, like, she will not get to that level. She cannot manage to finish senior 5. She will not manage senior 6. It is too stressful, but I managed to finish my studies. That's another to be. So that, at least that, I'm grateful to God. Please know your genotype. Save the next generation. You're doing this not for yourself, but for your kids. That is one thing. Then another thing I would like to communicate, maybe I would like to communicate to researchers and the government to implement more research on sickle cell. A lot is missing. There are new tabs, there are new medication, which is not yet here, which we have just read from USA, from Nigeria, from Ghana. But when you talk about it with your doctor in Uganda, the doctor is like, what? I've not heard about that. A lot is missing. So I would call up the government to input in research about sickle cell. Then to my fellow warriors, please be yourself. Be yourself. Knowing yourself will save you a lot. Death is not what scares most in life or what is worst in life, but what dies in you is the worst. Being a sickler doesn't stop you from doing what you want to do. You can do more even when you're a sickler. There are people who cannot do what you're doing today despite you're a sickler. So don't be scared of this. After all, even those who don't have sickle cell die. So don't be scared to do whatever you feel you want to do. As long as you're not damaging yourself. You're not putting yourself at a risk. If you want to take that course, do it. You will achieve it. If you want to get married, get married. Who said sicklers don't get married? Get married. Don't listen to people. Be yourself. That is the most important thing.